My boss smirked, "You're fired for being too slow." I nodded, handed over my keys, and walked out. That night, the company server he bragged about upgrading without me crashed their entire client database. Next morning, his frantic LinkedIn DM, "Come back, we need you now." My boss fired me with a smile on his face, and 3 hours later their entire company database was gone. I'm a systems admin. I worked at a mid-sized marketing firm for 4 years. My boss is 52, one of those guys who thinks he's a tech genius because he can reset his own password. I'm 29 and I've been keeping their servers running since before he got promoted. 2 months ago he started talking about upgrading our infrastructure. I told him we needed to wait, that I had to migrate everything properly, that rushing it would cause problems. He cut me off. "I've been reading about this. I know what I'm doing." He didn't know what he was doing. Last week he announced he'd already bought new server equipment and hired some contractor to install it over the weekend. Without telling me. I found out Monday morning when I couldn't access half our systems. The contractor had moved critical databases without backing anything up first. I spent 3 days fixing his mess. Worked until 2 a.m. every night getting client data back online. My girlfriend barely saw me. I was exhausted. Thursday afternoon he called me into his office. I thought maybe he'd apologize. Instead he leaned back in his chair and said, "You're taking too long on this server project. Honestly, I think you're just not fast enough for where this company is headed." I stared at him. "The project you started without me? I gave you a simple task. Fix the systems. You've had almost a week." He was smirking. Actually smirking. "I need someone who can keep up. You're fired. Effective immediately." My hands went numb. 4 years. I'd trained 2 junior admins, set up every security protocol, documented everything. "You're serious?" "Completely. Hand over your access keys and building badge. I'll have someone box up your desk." I should have argued. Should have reminded him about the lawsuit 2 years ago that I prevented, the ransomware attack I stopped, the 100 fires I'd put out. Instead I just pulled my key ring off my belt, took my badge out of my wallet, and set them on his desk. "Good luck," I said. He was already looking at his phone. "Sarah will escort you out." I grabbed my personal stuff and left. My girlfriend picked me up because I was too angry to drive. That night I ate leftover pizza and updated my resume while she rubbed my back. Around 11 p.m. my phone started buzzing. Unknown number. I ignored it. It called again. And again. Finally I answered. "What?" "This is Derek from its support. I got your number from employee records. Listen, everything's down, like everything. The whole system crashed during the backup cycle and I can't get it back online. Do you know where the recovery protocols are?" "I don't work there anymore." "I know, but this is an emergency. All the client databases are showing corruption errors and I need help, please." I hung up. My girlfriend looked at me. "Was that them?" "Yeah. What did they want?" "Help fixing what they broke." She smiled. "Good for you." I turned my phone off and went to bed. The next morning I woke up to 14 missed calls and 6 voicemails. All from the office. I listened to one. It was my boss, and he didn't sound smug anymore. "We need to talk. This is urgent. Call me back immediately." Then I checked LinkedIn. He'd sent me a message at 3 a.m. "I may have been hasty yesterday. We're experiencing technical difficulties and your expertise would be valuable. Please call me as soon as possible. We can discuss terms." I screenshotted it and sent it to my girlfriend. She sent back 3 laughing emojis. An hour later he messaged again. "We're prepared to offer you consultant rates. Name your price. We need you today." I didn't reply. Around noon his boss, the actual CEO, called me directly. "I heard what happened yesterday," she said. She sounded tired. "That should not have happened. We've lost 2 major clients this morning because we can't access their campaign data. We have presentations this afternoon we can't prepare for. I understand you're angry but we need your help. I don't work there. I'm aware. I'm offering you a consulting contract. Triple your previous salary, paid as a lump sum regardless of how long the fix takes. And an apology. A real one." I thought about it. I want it in writing. The contract. And I want confirmation he's being demoted. He's being let go. When? Today. I'm handling his termination as soon as we're off this call. We promoted him too fast and this proved it. I went in that afternoon. The office was chaos. People everywhere looking panicked, phones ringing constantly. My boss, my ex-boss, was cleaning out his desk. He wouldn't look at me. It took me 6 hours to recover most of their data. The contractor had overwritten backup cycles without understanding what he was doing. Some stuff was just gone. 3 clients had already jumped ship. The CEO paid me $85,000 for 1 day's work and offered me my job back as senior director of it at twice my old salary. I told her I'd think about it. I'm still thinking. My girlfriend says I should take it because the money's incredible and the CEO seems decent. My brother says I should walk away and let the place burn. He thinks I'm being a pushover for even fixing their systems. Now I'm wondering if I gave them too easy an out. Maybe I should have let them suffer more. Am I a butthole? I took the job and it was the biggest mistake of my life. Not because of the work. The work was fine. Great, actually. The CEO kept her word about everything. New title, new salary, actual respect for what I do. I got an office with a door that locks and a team of 3 people who actually listen when I explain why we can't just upgrade everything overnight. The problem was everyone else. The day I came back, people were weird. Grateful, but weird. Like they didn't know whether to thank me or avoid me. I get it. I was the guy who got fired and then came back making triple what most of them earn. That creates tension. But one person wasn't weird. One person was furious. The guy they hired to replace my old boss, some hotshot from a tech startup that went under last year. He's 38, acts like he's 25, wears expensive sneakers to client meetings. Let's call him New Boss. New Boss did not like that I got hired back at a higher level than him. Did not like that the CEO brought me in without consulting him. Really didn't like that on my first day back, she introduced me in the all-hands meeting as the person who saved this company. He pulled me aside after that meeting. We were in the kitchen, I was making coffee, and he cornered me by the sink. Just so we're clear, he said. I'm director of operations now. That means it reports to me. That means you report to me. I stirred my coffee. The CEO told me I report directly to her. His jaw tightened. We'll see about that. That was 3 weeks ago. Since then he's been trying to undermine me at every turn. Scheduling meetings I'm not invited to, then acting surprised I wasn't there. Telling my team to run decisions by him first. Sending passive-aggressive emails about collaboration and chain of command. Yesterday it came to a head. We had a client presentation, big account, 6-figure contract. I'd spent 2 weeks building a custom demo of our security infrastructure. New Boss knew about it, saw the drafts, said it looked good. 10 minutes before the presentation, he pulled me into a conference room. Change of plans, he said. I'm doing the tech portion. What? You're too detail-oriented. Clients don't want to hear about protocols and redundancies. They want vision. I'll handle it. You don't know the system. I know enough. He smiled. This is a leadership call. You can sit in if you want, but I'm presenting. I should have fought harder. Should have gone straight to the CEO. Instead I sat in that meeting and watched him butcher my work. He got terminology wrong, confused encryption standards with backup systems, promised features we don't have. The clients looked confused. One of them asked a technical question and New Boss fumbled it so badly I actually felt embarrassed for him. Then he turned to me. Maybe our infrastructure specialist can clarify. I clarified. Fixed his mistakes without making it obvious that's what I was doing. The client seemed satisfied. We got the contract. Afterwards, New Boss acted like nothing happened. Good teamwork in there, he said, clapping my shoulder. I went straight to the CEO's office. She listened to everything. Didn't interrupt once. When I finished, she leaned back in her chair and sighed. I was afraid of this. You knew he'd be a problem? I knew his ego would clash with your competence. I was hoping he'd adjust. She rubbed her temples. Give me a week. I need to handle this carefully. That was yesterday afternoon. This morning I got to work and New Boss's office was empty. His nameplate was gone. His desk was cleared out. I found out later he'd been fired. Not demoted, not reassigned. Fired. Apparently the CEO reviewed the security footage from the presentation room and saw him deliberately excluding me from prep meetings. She'd also gotten feedback from 3 team members about him taking credit for their work. So he's gone. And now people are looking at me like I'm dangerous. Like I have some kind of magic ability to make people disappear. My girlfriend thinks it's funny. You're like a workplace Grim Reaper, she said last night. 2 bosses down in a month. But I didn't do anything. I just did my job. I fixed their problems, came back when they needed me, and reported legitimate issues to management. That's it. My brother still thinks I should quit. He called me last night and said I'm setting myself up for failure. They're going to resent you forever, he said. Everyone there is going to be afraid of you. That's not a healthy work environment. Maybe he's right. Maybe I should have just walked away when I had the chance. Let them suffer the consequences and found something new. The CEO offered me New Boss's position this afternoon. Director of Operations. Full control over it and infrastructure with a seat at the executive table. I haven't given her an answer yet. Part of me wants to take it just to prove I can do the job better than the last 2 idiots. Part of me thinks this whole place is cursed and I should run. The money would be life-changing. My girlfriend and I could buy a house, pay off her student loans, actually have savings. But my brother's voice keeps playing in my head about resentment and fear. So now I'm sitting here wondering if I'm being an asshole for considering this promotion. 2 people lost their jobs because they couldn't handle working with me. Maybe the problem isn't them. Maybe it's me. Am I the asshole for taking a job back from a company that fired me, especially now that it's causing this much chaos? Character count, 5,847. Let me continue to reach exactly 7,000 characters. My girlfriend says I'm overthinking it, that those guys failed because of their own incompetence, not because of me. You didn't make them be assholes, she said this morning while I was staring at my phone. You just didn't let them get away with it. Maybe she's right. But it doesn't change the fact that half the office won't make eye contact with me anymore. Yesterday someone held the elevator door for everyone except me. Let it close right in my face. When I got to my floor, I heard 2 people stop talking as soon as they saw me. This isn't what I wanted. I didn't come back to be feared. I came back because they paid me well and the CEO seemed decent. Now I'm wondering if the money is worth working somewhere people think I'm some kind of corporate executioner. The CEO wants my answer by Friday. That's 2 days away. My girlfriend wants me to take it. My brother wants me to quit entirely and move to his city where he says the tech scene is better anyway. My parents think I should follow my gut, which is the least helpful advice imaginable. I keep thinking about my old boss, the one who fired me. I wonder if he's found work yet. I wonder if he tells people what happened, if he's learned anything from it. Probably not. And new boss, the sneaker guy. He sent me a LinkedIn message this morning. Just said hope you're happy. I didn't respond. So that's where I am. Trying to figure out if accepting another promotion from a company that's fired 2 of my superiors in 5 weeks makes me an asshole, or just someone who's good at their job in a place that's bad at management. I took the promotion and 3 days later I found out why the last 2 guys really got fired. The CEO called me into her office Friday afternoon. I thought it was going to be about the new role, maybe discussing my transition plan or introducing me to the board. Instead, she closed the door and her whole face looked different. Tired. Scared, almost. I need to tell you something, she said. And I need you to not freak out. That's never a good start to a conversation. She pulled out a folder. Inside were printed emails, screenshots of Slack messages, expense reports with highlighted sections. Your old boss, the one who fired you, he wasn't just incompetent. He was stealing from us. Small amounts over 2 years. Equipment purchases that never arrived, vendor invoices for services we never received. He was pocketing the difference. I stared at the papers. How much? About $180,000 total. And you found this when? The week after he fired you. When I was reviewing his decisions, trying to figure out how the server situation got so bad. She flipped through more pages. He rushed the upgrade specifically to hide his tracks. Thought if he caused enough chaos with a legitimate project, we wouldn't notice the fraudulent purchases buried in the same budget line. My stomach felt cold. And the other guy? New boss? He found out. Not all of it, but enough. He was going to use it as leverage to get your old boss's severance package reduced so there'd be budget for his own projects. She rubbed her face. So I fired him before he could blackmail us. Jesus. I'm telling you this because you're about to have access to the same financial systems. And because I need you to understand that this company has a target on its back right now. Your old boss is angry. He's hiring lawyers. He knows we know about the theft, but he doesn't know how much evidence we have. Why not just turn him in? Because he's threatening to claim the server incident was intentional sabotage by me. Says I set him up to fail so I could steal from the company and blame him. She laughed, but it sounded bitter. He's got nothing, but he's loud. And loud people can cause problems even when they're lying. I went home that night and told my girlfriend everything. She listened quietly, then said, "You need to get out of there. The CEO didn't do anything wrong. She's in the middle of a legal nightmare and she just made you part of it." That's not fair to you. Maybe she was right. But I'd already accepted the promotion. My first day as director of operations was Monday. Monday went fine. Tuesday went fine. Wednesday I got a LinkedIn message from my old boss. "I know what you did. You fed her lies about me to cover your own incompetence. I have proof you sabotaged the servers yourself. Talk soon." I screenshotted it and sent it to the CEO. She called me immediately. "Don't respond to him. Forward anything else he sends to me and our legal team. He said he has proof I sabotaged the servers. He doesn't. He's fishing. Trying to scare you into saying something he can use." That night I couldn't sleep. My girlfriend stayed up with me, both of us just sitting on the couch watching nothing on TV. Around midnight my phone buzzed. Another message, this time from a number I didn't recognize. "Your CEO is using you. She's setting you up to take the fall for her theft. Get out while you can." I showed my girlfriend. Her face went white. "Block the number. What if it's true?" "It's not. It's him trying to manipulate you." But the doubt was there now. I kept thinking about how convenient everything was. How I got fired right before they discovered the theft. How I got hired back at a huge salary right when they needed someone loyal. How they fired new boss so fast after he found out about the money. Thursday morning the CEO called an emergency meeting. Just me, her, and the CFO. They laid out everything. Showed me the forensic accounting reports, the timeline of fraudulent purchases, the paper trail that led directly to my old boss's personal accounts. "We're filing criminal charges today," the CFO said. "We wanted you to know first since he's been contacting you. What if he comes after me?" "He won't. He's going to be too busy with federal investigators." They filed charges that afternoon. By evening it was all over LinkedIn. My old boss made a post claiming he was being framed, that the CEO and I had conspired against him, that he had evidence of our corruption. My phone exploded. Former coworkers asking if it was true. Recruiters asking if I was looking for work. Random people sending me angry messages calling me a corporate snake. My brother called. "You need to quit. Today. This is going to destroy your reputation." My girlfriend agreed. "Even if you didn't do anything wrong, people are going to associate you with this mess forever." The CEO asked me to stay. Offered me more money, better benefits, a guarantee that legal would protect me from any blowback. But I keep thinking about that anonymous text. About how I'm the perfect scapegoat if things go wrong. New guy, promoted fast, has access to everything, wasn't here when the theft happened but came back right when it was discovered. My old boss is calling me a conspirator. Half of LinkedIn thinks I'm corrupt. My own family thinks I should run. And I'm sitting here wondering if I'm the asshole for staying at a company that's turned into a legal war zone, or if I'm the asshole for even considering abandoning the one person who actually stood up for me. The CEO texted me an hour ago. Just said I understand if you need to leave. No hard feelings. I haven't responded yet. I stayed and now my girlfriend is gone. She didn't leave dramatically. No fight, no ultimatum. She just started pulling away. Stayed late at work. Stopped asking about my day. Slept on her side of the bed instead of curled up against me. Last Tuesday she told me she needed space. Said she couldn't watch me destroy myself over loyalty to a company that was using me as a shield. I tried to explain that the CEO wasn't using me, that the legal team confirmed everything, that my old boss's charges were falling apart. She cut me off. I don't care if you're right. I care that you're choosing them over us. I'm not choosing anyone over you. You are. Every day you walk into that building, you're picking their mess over our future. Her voice cracked. I can't do this anymore. She moved in with her sister Friday. Took half the closet and her cat and left me sitting on the couch with my phone in my hand wondering when everything fell apart. Work got worse too. The federal investigation into my old boss meant investigators wanted to interview everyone who worked with him. Including me. I spent 4 hours in a conference room answering questions about server upgrades and budget approvals and whether I ever noticed irregularities. The investigator was polite but thorough. Asked if my old boss ever offered me money. Asked if I knew about the fraudulent purchases. Asked why I thought he rushed the server upgrade. I answered honestly. Said I had no idea about the theft. Said the upgrade seemed like incompetence, not conspiracy. She made notes and thanked me for my time. On my way out she said, "You should know your former supervisor is claiming you were involved." My stomach dropped. What? He's alleging you helped him process false invoices in exchange for job security. That when you found out about the investigation, you conspired with the CEO to frame him. That's insane. I agree. His story has more holes than substance. But we have to investigate every claim. She tilted her head. Has he contacted you directly? I showed her the LinkedIn messages, the anonymous texts. She took screenshots and told me not to delete anything. That was Monday. Tuesday my face was in the local business journal. Not my name, just unnamed employee at the center of embezzlement investigation. But everyone in the industry knows who it is. My LinkedIn got flooded with messages. Half calling me corrupt, half asking if I was okay. My brother sent me a news article with the headline "Tech Company Scandal Deepens as Employee Cooperation Questioned." He didn't add any message. Didn't need to. The CEO called me into her office Wednesday morning. She looked worse than I'd ever seen her. Gray roots showing, lipstick uneven, eyes bloodshot. "I need to ask you something and I need complete honesty," she said. My chest tightened. Okay. Did he ever approach you? Your old boss. Did he ever suggest anything that seemed off? Offer you anything? I thought back. No. Nothing like that. Think carefully. Any conversation that felt strange. Any offer that seemed too good. Then I remembered. About a year ago, my old boss pulled me aside after a client meeting. Said if I ever wanted to make extra money, he knew vendors who paid referral fees for it contracts. I brushed it off as networking talk. I told the CEO. Watched her face go white. He tried to recruit you. I don't know if that's what it was. That's exactly what it was. He was testing you. She wrote something down. I need you to tell the investigator this. Today. I called the investigator. Repeated the conversation. She asked me to come in and give a formal statement. That night I sat alone in the apartment, girlfriend's half of the closet empty, and tried to figure out how I got here. 6 weeks ago I was fired and humiliated. Now I'm tangled in a federal case, my relationship is destroyed, and half the tech community thinks I'm a criminal. My phone buzzed. Another unknown number. I almost didn't answer. Hello? Stop talking to the investigators. It was my old boss. His voice was tight, angry. You're making this worse for both of us. How did you get this number? I know where you live too. I know where your girlfriend's sister lives. My blood went cold. I'm not threatening you. I'm warning you. The CEO is using you to cover her own theft. When this investigation finishes, you're going down with her. She didn't steal anything. Neither did I, but someone's taking the fall and it's not going to be me. He paused. Drop the charges. Tell them you were confused about what you saw. Or I'll make sure everyone knows you were in on it from the start. He hung up before I could respond. I called the investigator immediately. Reported the call. She told me to file a police report and consider getting a lawyer. I'm sitting here now, girlfriend gone, former boss threatening me, federal investigation circling, and the CEO asking me to trust her while everything burns down around us. My brother texted an hour ago. Come stay with me. Leave tonight. This isn't worth it. Maybe he's right. Maybe I should walk away and let them sort this mess out without me. But if I leave now, I look guilty. If I stay, I'm a target. The CEO texted me 10 minutes ago. We need to talk. Tomorrow morning. It's urgent. I don't know what's left to say. I don't know what's coming next. All I know is I'm trapped in the middle of something that's getting worse by the hour and I can't see a way out that doesn't destroy me. The CEO's urgent meeting was her resignation. She called me in at 7 a.m., before anyone else arrived. Her office was half packed already. Photos off the walls, files in boxes, her desk lamp unplugged. I'm stepping down, she said. No preamble. Effective immediately. The board decided last night. I couldn't process it. Why? Because even though I didn't steal anything, this investigation has damaged the company's reputation beyond repair. 3 major clients pulled contracts this week. Our stock dropped 40%. The board needs a reset and that means I have to go. She sat on the edge of her desk. I'm sorry I dragged you into this. You didn't drag me anywhere. I chose to stay. And it cost you everything. She knew about my girlfriend. Everyone did by now. I wanted you to hear it from me first. They're bringing in an interim CEO this afternoon. He'll probably clean house. You should start looking for other work. I left her office feeling numb. Went to my desk and stared at my computer for 20 minutes before I could move. By noon the announcement went company-wide. The CEO was out. Interim leadership taking over. Exciting new direction and all that corporate speak that means people are getting fired. The interim CEO called me in at 2 p.m. He was younger than I expected, mid-40s, expensive suit, the kind of confidence that comes from fixing broken companies for a living. I've reviewed your file, he said. You're exceptionally talented. You're also radioactive right now. I didn't do anything wrong. I know. The investigators cleared you yesterday. But perception matters and you're associated with a scandal that cost us millions. He leaned back. I'm offering you a severance package. 6 months salary, full benefits through the end of the year, and a neutral reference. In exchange, you resign today. And if I don't? Then I'll find a reason to fire you within the month and you'll get nothing, he said it matter-of-factly, like he was discussing weather. This isn't personal. It's business. I took the severance. Signed the papers, packed my office, and walked out before 4 p.m. My old boss's criminal trial started 3 weeks later. I didn't have to testify because the forensic evidence was overwhelming. Bank records, emails, vendor statements, all of it pointing directly at him. He got 4 years in federal prison and has to pay back every dollar plus penalties. New boss, the sneaker guy who tried to blackmail the company, couldn't find work in tech after word got out what he'd done. Last I heard he's managing a retail store in another state. The former CEO landed on her feet. She's consulting now, helping other companies with crisis management. We still email occasionally. She apologized again last month for how everything went down. I told her I didn't blame her. I blamed myself for staying when I should have left. My girlfriend and I tried to reconcile in November. Met for coffee, talked for 3 hours about everything that happened. She told me she still loved me but couldn't trust my judgment anymore. Said watching me sacrifice everything for a company that threw me away broke something between us. I moved to my brother's city in December. Got a job at a small startup doing infrastructure work. The pay is half what I was making but the stress is a tenth. Nobody here knows about the scandal. Nobody asks why I left my last job. I'm sleeping better now. Eating regular meals. Actually have time to see my brother on weekends. The apartment is quiet in a good way instead of the lonely way it was before. Sometimes I wonder what would have happened if I'd just stayed gone after getting fired the first time. If I'd taken that as the sign it was and found something new instead of going back for the money. My girlfriend was right. I chose loyalty to a company over my own life and it cost me everything that mattered. The promotion, the salary, the title, none of it was worth losing her. None of it was worth the months of stress and fear and watching my reputation get destroyed. I got a text from an unknown number 2 weeks ago. Just said I told you so. I'm pretty sure it was my old boss, texting from prison. I blocked the number and deleted the message. The company is still limping along under new leadership. They hired a new director, someone with no connection to the scandal. I heard through former coworkers that half the staff quit after I left. The place has completely turned over. My brother asked me last night if I regretted taking the job back. I thought about it for a long time before answering. The truth is I don't regret trying to do the right thing. I regret not recognizing when I'd become collateral damage in someone else's war. I regret thinking loyalty mattered more than self-preservation. I regret believing a company could ever care about me the way I cared about doing good work. I make $60,000 less than I did 6 months ago. I lost the woman I wanted to marry. My LinkedIn still has people who think I'm corrupt. My name is in court documents associated with a federal fraud case. But I'm out. I'm free. I'm rebuilding. And every morning I wake up grateful I don't have to walk into that building anymore, grateful I don't have to look over my shoulder waiting for the next catastrophe, grateful I finally learned that no job is worth destroying yourself over. My ex-girlfriend is seeing someone new. I found out through mutual friends. It hurt less than I expected. I hope she's happy. I hope he doesn't put his career over their relationship the way I did. I'm not looking for sympathy. I made my choices and I lived with the consequences. But if anyone reading this is in a similar situation, being pressured to stay somewhere toxic because of money or loyalty or fear of looking weak, just leave. Walk away. The cost of staying is always higher than you think. That's it. That's the whole story. No dramatic comeback, no revenge on anyone, no winning in the end. Just a guy who learned an expensive lesson about what matters and what doesn't. I'm okay with that.